Hello, and welcome to a short introduction about DTACT Raven. DTACT Raven is a fast, multi-purpose open standard platform that connects data to systems and users almost instantly. My name is Thomas Graham, the head of product at DTACT, and in this video, you will see how you can mitigate the risk and impact of anti-phishing for your external customers and internal employees alike. Let's get started. Welcome to DTACT Raven. The anti-phishing use case is built around being able to monitor phishing data, notify when something fishy is up, and take a concrete action depending on the certainty of this. For a system like this to work, you need data. Luckily, there's a lot of public data available you can tap into to easily get an overview of who is out there trying to tarnish your name and phish your employees or customers. In DTACT Raven, we call this a source. The reason we're starting here is because a source quite literally sets the foundation of a system like this. And as you can see on this page, we've already configured a few to monitor certificate transparency. A source looks like this, in which I'll be able to inspect further and see what flows it's been used in, along with how the data actually looks like. You could also add a new source easily by simply configuring it like this, adding the required details, clicking Add, which would make the data available to use. On the left, you will see a range of other available sources, but for now, you have seen how to configure a source and understand why this is important. Let's move on and have a closer look at how we get value out of this data. All right, let's take a look at how we can use this data to generate some insights. Going over to our flow section here, I can see that we already have one defined flow for this use case. And the flow inside of DTACT Raven is sort of like a workbook, you could say. If I go into the flow, you'll be able to see a range of bricks here. And let's just close the sidebar. Each of these bricks is like an isolated container running one specific function. It also means that every container is isolated from each other, which is very attractive. You will see 4 different lanes in here. And I know there's a lot of bricks on the screen. So on the left here, you'll see our phishing email mailbox. You'll see our laundry lane over here. And you will see, if I go all the way over here, our spam trap and our certificate transparency that we looked at just before. Now, the interesting thing about this is it is very easy for us to actually chain up these bricks doing different things. Specifically for the phishing email mailbox here, you will notice that there's a range of bricks right after it. Now, these bricks have a specific purpose in that they, in this case, actually are enriching the data coming from this inbox, which is a forwarded email. They're doing a page shot of that, which is a screenshot of the URLs that is found in the actual URLs from the email. Then it filters out the whitelisted URLs and sends them over to the laundry lane. And the laundry lane is undoubtedly the most interesting flow inside of this one. As you can see, I'm receiving single URLs. In this case, I'm doing the page shot. I'm running a Sigma, which is the DTACT Raven way of simply streaming events or messages through a predefined alert and then generate either tagging, alerts, or anything you would want to enrich this with. And that is in the stream and not afterwards. So that is an attractive thing. Now, in DTACT Raven, you have the possibility to create outgoing connectors, and that is exactly what's happening here as well. You will see that if we indeed find out a host to be malicious, which is what we're actually looking for when we're looking for people who are abusing our brands and creating phishing websites or creating websites to fool or misinform our audience. In this case, we're sending a takedown request to the ISP hosting that specific website and asking them to take it down. And that is simply all automated, which is one of the attractive things of this use case. We could very well add other outgoing actions. You can see a brick down here where we send this data onto Splunk. It could be a HTTP endpoint, in this case, creating a case inside of the Hive, which is a case management system, for an analyst to take a deeper look at this. Of course, already enriched with all of the data before we even send it on to that point. And the list goes on. Now, the interesting part about the laundry lane is that it's kind of a collection point of data going through this flow. And if I go way over here on the right, you'll see the spam chat, of course, which is our threat intelligence and monitoring the IP space and catching spam emails to enrich our data set. But you'll also see the certificate transparency one that I showed you in the sources tab earlier. Now, in this case, we are getting in the certificate transparency data. If I double click it, I can actually see what's coming through here. I can see that I've received 36 million messages already, and I can kind of tap through it if I would like to get a deeper look at what the data looks like. We are then converting it to Elastic Common Schema using a TypeScript brick, and we are using our Sigma rules to alert on suspicious domains. And one of these rules actually look a bit like this. This is a rule for the certificate transparency where I am looking for a certain data set. I'm looking for certain fields in this. And if I find these fields, I am creating an alert of high severity. And if that is the case, well, then I send that information onto the laundry lane, but I also store that in an Elasticsearch index, which I will show you in a moment. But overall, this is the flow, and you have now seen all the information that actually goes into this, all the enrichments, all the filtering, the page shots coming out of this, that simply automates the entire notice and takedown process where it can, and where it simply can't or needs human intervention, they would receive a fully prepared, fully enriched event that would make that decision easy for human eyes in case of phishing. As we saw before, we saved some information down to an index. Let's jump over to our analyzer section to see what that looks like. As you may be familiar with, in anti-phishing, no one solution is completely bulletproof to attacks. There may be cases where attackers choose to target your organization with highly specific phishing campaigns or methods. That's why having the ability to keep an eye on the data is important. And as in any mature anti-phishing solution, this too is available in DTACT Raven. What you're seeing in front of you is the dashboard section of the analyzer. And in here, I have access to a ton of information about all the phishing data that is being ingested in this system. I have access to the subjects, I have access to the from messages, the sender IPs, hashes, the links, all information that I could use to extend this solution and provide more value to the specific organization. And this tool is actually what we use internally to do the same. Going over to the table section, I have direct access to the information in this system so that I have the option to dig deeper into this should we want to look for specific information. I can open up the individual events. I can compare them. I can see, for example, these are the same. There's no difference between them. I can add columns to my layout here if I should want to, seeing it show up over here. Or I could dig even deeper into the data by using our search facets feature. Let's say, for example, we'd want to sort only on this very obvious spam email. I will click the filter button. And now I have all this information in front of me that I can dig even deeper into should I wish to do that. This is important because there may be cases where an organization is under attack, or there may be cases where a malicious actor would use specific kinds of attack to attack an organization. And with the analyzer, you are actually able to find these things and create additional alerts or additional ways to handle this should you wish to do that. We trust you now have a better understanding of DTACT Raven anti-phishing. To sum it up, it offers you a turnkey solution that works out of the box while being completely open and extendable to your organization's needs using our brick system with zero vendor lock-in. This gives you an agnostic, fast, low-code, reliable, and robust solution which can be implemented as SaaS or on-premise very effortlessly. Our mission at DTACT is to put you in control by enabling state-of-the-art cybersecurity for your organization. Thank you.